Could it be that you're wrong about the recession in 2023? I'm not sure. Hey, it's Scott Beebe with Business on Purpose. We're here for one reason, and that's to help liberate you from the chaos of working in your business. Make sure to go check us out, mybusinessonpurpose.com/healthy, and you can take a metric assessment of the health of your business. Macroeconomics, well, they're complicated. Highly complex minds maneuver highly complex algorithms and data points to determine economic sea changes and tidal flows, the currents of which move entire societal habits. So when the news channel report a sweeping new change or a movement about this or that in the market, we're immediately programmed to assume the news piece directly affects us. At the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, author John Elderidge released an unknowingly timely book entitled Get Your Life Back. A key concept of his writing was the practice of what he called benevolent detachment. Elderidge describes it this way on his blog. He says, everyone has a junk drawer, that black hole for car keys, pens, paper clips, gum, all the small flotsam and jetsam that accumulates over time. Our souls accumulate stuff as well, pulling it in like a magnet. And so Augustine said, we must empty ourselves of all that fills us so that we may be filled with what we are empty of. Over time, I've found no better practice to help clear out my cluttered soul than the practice of benevolent detachment. The ability, he says, to let it go, walk away, not so much physically, but emotionally, soulfully. We're presuming that a recession for the global economy, or at least your national economy, means a recession for you. But you're wrong to assume that. Some of our greatest small and large businesses were launched in the midst of a recession. And because much of a business's exponential growth comes during its first years, it would be silly, a bit nearsighted, to blindly buy into the broad narrative that recession equals bad. A recession does not mean no business by and large. Instead, a recession equals less business, but not for everyone. We have clients standing on the front step of a new year with realistic projections of an already contracted business for this year that yields growth in a recession. Following the wisdom of Augustine, let us empty ourselves of all that fills us so that we may be filled with all that we are empty of. The pandemic years lulled many to sleep and turned many salespeople into order takers. Not all, of course, but many. And those order takers bellied up at the bar of new business, deciding what they wanted and when they wanted it. We have been emptied of hope and opportunity. We have been emptied of hustle and proactive, forward-leaning customer engagement because we're bellied up at the bar just taking orders. Instead, we have filled ourselves with the infinite scroll of reactionary firefighting, responding to the latest, loudest fear screamer, believing that the end of business is near. Value-added commerce, trade, and transactions have been operating for centuries throughout the litany of cultures and societies. We're just microscopic players on a macroscopic world stage, and it would do us well to walk outside and pay attention to the even more microscopic bird. Jesus, the teacher, reminded us, the bird does not plant seeds, it does not harvest its food, it does not store its food, and yet it has all it needs. A recession provides the needed jolt to sharpen our focus, to not take for granted the work that we've been invited into and built for. A recession is often the push that we need to lean forward, to take our mission to the right people, marketing, make a mutual commitment to serve those people, sales, and fulfill that service within the values that we have laid out, operations. A recession is also a reminder that home runs are not the winning strategy. Base hits work, and base hits require repetition, predictability, and meaning, all products of a thoughtful action. Recessions do not favor those bellied up at the bar taking orders at will, all the while watching the breaking news merry-go-rounds fretting the what-ifs. Recessions do favor those who are sober, proactive, and willing to hit the streets. Those who realize that while the weather in some locations might look cloudy and rainy, the local weather is what really matters. There might be less business overall. That might just mean more opportunity for you. The news, their news, is not your news unless you allow it to be.